We have Shaun Kober in the house.
And Brad.
Tiger Muay Thai. He's the head strength and conditioning coach here at Tiger Muay Thai, about to move into a new role, now training elite UFC athletes, getting them ready for their big debuts.
Living the dream, mate.
Living the dream, man.
Come from a poor family, abusive stepdad, left home at 14, and then I joined the army at 20, spent 6 years in the military, deployed to Iraq, East Timor, Afghanistan. This is the beautiful thing about this street, man. This is why I ended up here. You know, there's people that are coming here to, you know, kick off their weight loss goal or kick off their fitness journey, or, you know, they're overcoming depression or drug addiction or, you know, a divorce or something traumatic in their life.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Fitness Street series. 1st of July 2022. We have Shaun Kober in the house.
And Brad.
Tiger Muay Thai and myself, Brad. Mate, it is an absolute pleasure to bring you on. I've been wanting to bring this man on for a couple of years. He's the head strength and conditioning coach here at Tiger Muay Thai, about to move into a new role here at Tiger in a couple of months from now.
I'm excited.
We'll get to that in just a second. We met back in 2017 when I first arrived here at Tiger Muay Thai. I was doing the beginner Muay Thai classes, messing around, making videos on my phone here, the older version of the Samsung. And this man just arrived at Tiger Muay Thai like 3 months before me.
Yeah. And
we met for the first time. And over the last 5 years, we've been crossing paths, minus the COVID, like the past 2 years. But I've seen this man grow. I've seen this man grow so much over the past 5 years. He's gone from an intern here at Tiger Muay Thai, now training elite UFC athletes, getting them ready for their big debuts.
Living the dream, mate.
Living the dream, man.
Don't know how it happened, but, you know, put one foot in front of the other and just happened. Same as you, mate. Like, this guy's been on a journey of growth as well. So it's been really cool, man, to see your journey. You know, you were just starting the vlogs and that sort of stuff when I first met you. I just arrived on an intern contract working for free, showed my value, got a full-time coaching position, then became the head strength and conditioning coach like 6 months later. So you know, we've kind of been on this parallel path of growth for the last 5 years or so. It's been really cool to watch, man. It's been awesome.
And before we get to the few questions, and I'll actually timestamp the questions down below if you want to jump to specific questions, but real quick, man, quick backstory, 2 to 3 minute backstory on your life.
All right, real quick. Come from a poor family, abusive stepdad, left home at 14. I actually had a conversation with a very good friend recently about going through 6-year cycles of life. And I realized that I left home at 14, went into the workforce, started playing rugby, had some opportunities around Australia, traveled to play rugby, spent 6 years doing that. And then I joined the army at 20, spent 6 years in the military, deployed to Iraq, East Timor, Afghanistan. Got out of the army, did my PT course, built my personal training business, went through the strength and conditioning process, wanting to work with professional athletes. Spent 6 years in Tasmania doing that, Darwin and Tasmania in Australia. And then 2017 came over here and put myself in a position to potentially take any opportunities to work with professional athletes. So I'm in the 5th year of that 6-year cycle. So I'm actually just about to leave. Today's my last day at Tiger for the next 2 months. I'm gonna go on leave for 2 months, catch up with friends, family, refuel my soul, and then walk back into Tiger in 2 months' time. Heading up the Performance Institute, working with the professional fight team. So,
mate, I can't wait to see that space.
Man.
I'm excited just as much as you, man.
Awesome.
Really cool to see this man's journey and growth.
Thanks.
And again, I'll link this guy up if you want to contact him directly on Instagram. I'll throw it up on the screen right now. I'll put stuff down below in the description. He's got a website. You haven't built it yet, have you?
Website's under construction.
All right,
got a podcast, got a YouTube channel, got the social medias. So
yeah, I'll link it all up for you guys if you want to say hi from me or have any questions for him. I'll link it all up. But just before we go,
are you ready for the comeback? You know we don't want.
We've got a couple of questions here because I know most of you guys watching this are looking to come to Tiger Muay Thai, or Fitness Street in general, but specifically Tiger Muay Thai, where a lot of my older videos have been shot. And you have no training experience or very little training experience. What would you say, mate? What would your best piece of advice be for people that are wanting to come out here, never trained before, very little training experience to prepare?
I would say make a decision. And stick to it. You know, there's never going to be a perfect time. So if you want to make a change in your life, then you know now's the time to do that. And this is the beautiful thing about this street, man. This is why I ended up here. You know, I traveled 2013 and got out of the army 2012 after my last deployment to Afghanistan, and I came over here and I saw, you know, the type of people and the amount of people that were coming here to make big changes in their lives.
Yeah.
You know, we're speaking about this a little bit before offline, and you know, we've both met so many people. We've also been in this position where we're wanting to make big changes in our lives. You know, there's people that are coming here to, you know, kick off their weight loss goal or kick off their fitness journey, or, you know, they're overcoming depression or drug addiction or, you know, a divorce or something traumatic in their life. And this is a great place to come, surround yourself with really good people that are on a similar path, that are trying to make their lives better. So yeah, my recommendation would just be to get over here, immerse yourself in this environment and take it all in.
And then the second question then is, how can people, when they come here, how can they make the most of their training while they're here? Because, you know, overtraining is something that you come across a lot.
Yeah.
And when I speak to people in passing and they're training here, it's like, how many classes can they bang out in a day, right?
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a bragging right. Oh, I've done 4 classes today. Oh, I've only done 2 classes. Oh, mate, what's going on?
Yeah.
So how would you, as a coach that's been here for 5 years, working with elite athletes and general population as well, how can people get the most out of their training without overtraining?
I would say have an intent for why you're coming here. As I mentioned before, you know, people are coming for different reasons, but ultimately you come here to train. You should be thinking about how often you're going to be training, how long you're going to be here for, what else you want to get out of the trip as well. I mean, the first time I came, I spent a week on the street, and I was that person where I was training 3 to 4 times per day, and I didn't get out and see anything else.
I did that too.
You know, so, but you know, if you're here for a week, absolutely get in, get amongst it, get your money's worth in regards to training. But if you're here for a month, for example, then, you know, I'd recommend, it's like progressive overload 101, right? We know this from the fitness industry. You know, if you're at home in your typical environment, you know, you've got your family, you've got your career, you've got the kids, you've got mortgage repayments, so on and so forth, like, you know, that's all stress. And if you come over here and then you walk back into 4 training sessions a day, all the other stress is gone, but now you're adding stress through training. So, you know, it's about balancing that. And if you're doing, say, 3 hours of training per week at home, I'd recommend getting over here and going, all right, maybe do 6 hours of training the first week, and then maybe bump that up to 8 to 10 hours the second week, maybe bump that up to 12 to 15 the third week, and use that progressive overload over that time. But if you're here for 2 weeks, get in, get amongst it.
Awesome. So otherwise, if you're here for 2-3 months, then just slowly scale, slowly add the volume. Don't kill yourself in the first 2 weeks. It'll be a 3-month trip. Last question for you, mate. The most common question that you get from the general population around fitness, weight loss, getting shredded, building muscle, in your DM, in your emails, and how do you usually respond beside maybe copy and paste?
Well, this is hard, man, because, you know, my response has had to change over the years. You know, obviously being here, working with some high-level fighters, building my brand, building myself as an authority. You know, my numbers on social media are growing, so I do my best to answer every question, every individual that writes through, but it is getting a little bit more difficult now. So, you know, there's many questions, as you know, but you know, what's the best? It's always what's the best. What's the best exercise for this? What's the best program? What's the best diet? And it's like, it depends. I don't know anything about you, so I need to ask 5 questions in order to give you a legitimate answer. So what I've actually done is put together a podcast, which I started a couple of years ago, and that's basically so, you know, if someone rocks in and is like, hey coach, I'm training 3 times a day, I'm on this ketogenic diet, and this coach said this and that and blah blah blah, what do you think? And I'm like, well, it depends. Here's like a 3.5 hour 7-part mini-series on nutritional pyramid of importance. Go and listen to that, and I guarantee that's going to answer all your questions. So,
all right. So if you guys are watching this and you do have any questions relating to weight loss, building muscle, getting shredded, best diet, best this and that, I'll link up this man's podcast. Actually, it depends. I'll link up the podcast. They can go and check it out as well. It's pretty good, man. I'll listen to a couple of episodes.
Thanks, man.
Bonus question. Actually, I'll check time. Here we go. The man's got 10 minutes, and then he's working with someone. Mentors, people you look up to. Who would be one person that you look up to, inspired by the most, Could be many. Usually everyone has a few.
That's a great question. It's also a difficult question.
Yeah.
I like to look at mentors in many different elements of my life. Like my stepdad, for example, he was abusive, he was a fucking asshole, but you know, I learned a lot of things from him. A lot of things that, you know, I don't want to have as part of my personality or, you know, part of my character traits. I look at people around me, man. I look at people on the street. I look at people that I work alongside. I look at some of my friends, you know, some of my really good mates, fathers. You know, I don't have any kids, haven't been married or anything, but I look at some of my mates. I'm like, oh man, you're a great father. I would love to. If I have kids, I'm going to take a lot of lessons from you. Likewise with people that I work with, people that I work alongside, the people that my clients, my fighters, man. I learn just as much from them as they learn from me. So you know, I'm always looking for
new ideas.
People in my environment that I can learn from.
You
know, I want to take the best of everyone and like kind of amalgamate that into my own life. So.
And that's what makes you a very unique man. Hey?
Thanks, bro.
That's what makes him the man that he is. Again, I'll link him up, all his socials. I'll throw up his Instagram one more time on the screen. Go and check this man out. I am inspired by this man and his journey over the last 5 years, and I'll see him again. Maybe we'll do something more in depth. When you come back, end of August, I should still be here. We can do something. If you guys want to see more of us, let me know in the comments or DM or whatever. Mate, it's a pleasure.
Tell you all about the trip. Let's go.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks,
Mate. Appreciate it.